हरिओम। क्या बात है भाई, समय बड़ा बलवान है, समय को पकड़ो।
हाँ सर, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, थोड़ी देर में ही समय को पकड़ रहा हूँ सर। मैं जस्ट बिल्कुल थोड़ी देर में ही व्यवस्था कर रहा हूँ।
2 मिनट ऊपर हो गए।
बस 5 मिनट्स।
5 मिनट्स सर, 5 मिनट्स सर, ओनली 5 मिनट्स।
करो करो।
अरे गुरुजी कैसे जुड़े कह रहे हैं।
ओम महागणाधिपतये नमः। ओम महागणाधिपतये नमः। ओम महागणाधिपतये नमः। ओम गणेशाय नमः। ओम गणेशाय नमः। ओम गणेशाय नमः। ओम महागणाधिपतये नमः। ओम महागणाधिपतये नमः। ओम महागणाधिपतये नमः। ओम गणेशाय नमः।
हरिओम।
हरिओम। वेलकम 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 सर। Within 3 minutes we are going to start our program. Please cooperate with us within 3 minutes.
आप चालू रखिए।
जी within 3 minutes. Very
चालू
nice.
रखिए।
गुरुदेव की जय हो, गुरुदेव की जय हो, गुरुदेव की जय हो। शेखर जी आपकी जय हो। नमस्कार
जी नमस्कार।
नमस्कार नमस्कार नमस्कार। बस विदिन 3 मिनट्स
हमारे को हवाई जहाज में उठाओ। पवन जी
आप तो हमारे दिल में हो। अमेरिका से यहाँ चीजें आ रही।
हनुमान जी
गुरुदेव प्रणाम प्रणाम प्रणाम। मैं बस जस्ट शुरू करवा रहा हूँ, जस्ट शुरू। लास्ट लेक्चर विदिन 2-3 मिनट्स वी आर गोइंग।
पवन पुत्र।
यस एंडरसन।
नमस्कार जी नमस्कार। शर्मा जी
नमस्कार बोटला जी।
शेखर शेखर
इसी तरह से मिलते रहेंगे।
या शेखर अमेरिका से।
कलकत्ता में हूँ अभी।
मैं अमेरिका से बोल रहा हूँ।
ये शेखर अन्नम बोटला है सर, डॉक्टर शेखर अन्नम बोटला। बहुत यंग डायनेमिक अपना के हेड।
मुझे मालूम है कि हम मिले हैं जोधपुर में। हम साथ थे।
जोधपुर में यादगारी बहुत अच्छा है।
हाँ, चालू हो चुका है, अब ये बंद करो तो Was within 5 minutes, sir. Only last speaker is going on. Was within 5 minutes, we are going to start our global consortium.
How are you, Sheena?
Okay.
बोलो ना चालू है।
Namaskar. I'm fine, thank you. How are
Namaskar,
you?
Yadav ji. Namaskar. Namaskar, Yadav ji.
He is been here in KLE.
Yeah. I know that all the people. Arre. Namaskar.
So, how are you?
I am
How are
doing
you?
good. I'm doing good.
Fast.
Yes.
Just तब तक बात करिए, बात करना।
Just finish the lecture. So, you will be linked in. Huh?
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. So, it will be a pleasure if you will, in person, if you can come here. But
Yeah,
no problem.
unfortunately, the dates are not matching of the dates.
Yes.
And if the World Ayurveda Congress and these things together
Yes,
happened,
immediately.
generally I am at KLE. Generally, I am at KLE with the
Yes,
group of
yes.
students and everybody.
Yes, Suhas has told me.
Yeah.
One second. No. Only few seconds, I should say. It will
No
start.
problem. Sheena, how are you? Where are you from, Sheena?
Me? Namaste.
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 I'm from Sweden.
Sweden. Oh, very good.
Yes. So the great north.
Yeah.
And Dr. Shankar, where are you from?
I am from USA.
Oh, that's nice.
I'm from Pennsylvania, New York, very close to New York, USA.
Oh,
I'm a US
excellent.
citizen. I'm a US citizen. Almost 30 years I'm here in the United States.
Oh, that's great. I'm looking so much forward to hear from everyone here. It's
Thank you.
a great pleasure.
Thank you.
Welcome to all to India. Maybe virtually, but you are in India at present.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Then we don't have a COVID problems. We don't need to put a mask. Huh?
No. Not at all.
Because when we come there, we have to put a mask.
Sure.
Now I don't need to put a mask when I'm talking to Sheena.
Only in plane, not in India.
No need.
No need in India.
To follow what are the healthy regimens in terms of achara.
Because you guys are immune to that. Because we are not immune to that.
We are immune. We are well immune.
Huh?
We are well immune. Please do it the first. All is waiting.
Request the students to grab the knowledge from all the sources, learn Ayurveda and practice Ayurveda. I take this opportunity to thank the organizing team. Swasthayu,
Sheena, what's the time now there in Sweden? What's the time now?
I'm humbly sorry that we are 10 minutes late because this event was going on here. And this
Don't
is
worry.
last
Don't
comment
worry.
of the
Don't
chairman.
worry. Take your time. We are talking. No, don't worry. We already started our meeting.
So nice of you. So nice of you all.
Yeah, we are enjoying. Yeah, it's almost 12:40 in Sweden, so almost a little bit past lunchtime.
Okay, 12:40. Okay, ours
Yeah,
is
and what-
early morning 6:40.
Oh, okay. So right in the Brahma Mudra then.
Yeah.
It's
So we wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Then we are here and 6:40, and even I have not finished my breakfast.
oh.
My breakfast is on the table, and
Oh.
I have
To
bought my
finish it now.
avocado.
Hardly
Oh.
1 minute.
That's great breakfast.
That's my breakfast morning avocado. Huh?
Yeah,
Oh.
that's excellent.
Avocado season.
So Stina, how are you? Stina, how
Yeah.
are you?
Yeah. Namaste. I'm fine, thank you. How are you, Pavan?
Good evening, everyone. I welcome you all to Global Consortium. I request Dr. Ashok Patil sir to escort Dr. Pawan Kumar Sharma ji
This is not
to the
visible.
dais.
So make sure that he has a bulletproof. Because escorting means, yeah, you need to have bulletproof.
Off.
Yes, sir, you can speak from.
हरिओम. अरे मैं विजिबल कैसे रहूंगा? आवाज ही तो गूंजेगी. आकाशवाणी नहीं हूं मैं. आई एम नॉट ए आकाशवाणी. जब केवल म्यूट करो. वीडियो खोल दो. म्यूट कर दो. अभी आप बात करो. हरिओम सर. स्वागतम. Welcome to all. Welcome all experts from the globe. Really, we would like to welcome you all on the platform of KLE today, Swasthayu 2K22. I would like to hand over the mic for initial announcement or initial address to my friend Dr. Swarda. But before that, as our usual tradition, I would like to initiate the program with Ishwar Stuti as our tradition. Vigneshwaraya Varadaya Suraha Priyaya Lambodaraya Sakalaya Jagathitaya Nagananaya Shrutiyagya Vibhuchitaya Gauri Sutaya Gananath Namo Namaste Karpur Gauram Karunavataram Sansar Charam Bhujagendraharam Sada Vasantam Hridayaravinде Bhavam Bhavani Sahitam Namami Avirbhabhuva Kalasham Dadadarna Vadya Piyosha Purna Mamaratva Krate Suranam Rogjala Janata Janita Prasanso Dhanvantarisa Bhagavan Bhavikaya Bhuyat Sri Dhanvantraye Namaha. We would like to welcome all the experts on the dais from the globe. Thank you very much for joining us, sir. And now I would like to hand over the mic to my co-moderator, Dr. Swarda, Assistant Professor in KLE. Welcome.
Thank you, sir. India is the prime contributor of many innovations in the world, including the mother medical system, Ayurveda. History has been carved in golden letters dated to around 4,000 years ago. Gradually, Ayurveda became politically, conceptually, and commercially dominated by modern trends, resulting in modern Ayurveda and global Ayurveda. Modern Ayurveda is geographically located in the Indian subcontinent and tends towards secularization through minimization of the magic and mythic aspects of Ayurveda. Global Ayurveda encompasses multiple forms of practice that developed through dispersal to a wide geographical range outside India. Ayurveda has also become the subject of interdisciplinary studies in ethnomedicine, which seeks to integrate the biomedical sciences and humanities to improve the pharmacopoeia of Ayurveda. Through well-understood processes of modernization and globalization, Ayurveda was eventually adapted for Western consumption. Today, Ayurveda is widely practiced at overseas, where public institutions offer formal study in the form of Ayurveda degree. This would not have been possible without the efforts of the pioneers of Ayurveda at overseas. The Department of Overseas Activity at KLE Ayurworld, established since more than a decade, undertakes activities of uniting Ayurveda practitioners across the globe and promoting various ways of Ayurveda practice and lifestyle. We are working in collaboration with various overseas universities and offer student exchange programs, in-house hands-on training to various Ayurveda students overseas, distant lecture series and webinars, collaborative research and teleconsultation to patients seeking Ayurveda treatment. We intend to extend our boundaries and explore opportunities for the young Ayurveda practitioners to make their way around the world and promote Ayurveda. The Global Consortium is an effort made to continue the launch by our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji, that is Heal in India and Heal by India. Under the guidance of Dr. Suhas Kumar Shetty, Principal and Medical Director, KLE Ayurworld, we present to you the Global Consortium at Swasthayu 2K2K. I take this opportunity to welcome Dr. Pawan Kumar Sharma ji, who has been the mainstay of this global consortium. With this, I invite the first speaker,
I would like to welcome the legend of Shastra, not only in India, not only in Japan, but in the globe. I would like to request my respected Guru, Honorable Sri Professor Gurudev Harishankar Sharma ji. He has joined from Calcutta today. I welcome sir. राम गुरुदेव स्वागतम. आपके आशीर्वचन के हम आकांक्षी हैं.
मेरे आयुर्वेद के
You are mute, sir.
आप
No,
सबका
you are not mute.
मैं हृदय से स्वागत करता हूँ
Himatri,
और आशा करता हूँ
no, don't mute.
we will be able
Right, sir.
to
Welcome.
protect human being. Everywhere nowadays, Ayurveda is being honored and practiced in the regular practice. Therefore, we must follow ourselves first, then we should say to others. And all whosoever will follow Ayurveda, definitely they will be having a long life and healthy life. Just like me, at the age of 94, I am with all of you. Likewise, you will be also having a long life, happy life. So, my blessings are with all of you. Develop Ayurveda throughout the globe. Thank you.
This is the salutable Jill, sir. I salute your child in the age of 94 years with the catheter. After having 14 fractures in the body, your one leg is in Jamnagar, one in Jodhpur. At present, you are in my Calcutta, and one with auntie, respected auntie. Namaskar, naman. आपको बहुत बहुत नमन. आपकी जय हो और ऐसे ही हमें आप आशीर्वाद देते रहें. आप शतायु हो, दीर्घायु हो. Just now, one speaker was telling that there is a village in Japan where all are 100 years crossed. So I am expecting you and auntie both to cross minimum 150 years to bless the Ayurveda. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Naman. Naman, sir.
I now take this opportunity to invite Dr. Inamura Hiroi Sharma, the founder of Ayurveda at Japan, and Mr. and Mrs. Sharma have worked immensely hard to develop and found Ayurveda at Japan. Over to you, ma'am.
She is mother of Ayurveda in Japan, established Ayurveda in Japan, written so many books, numerous books, and she is teaching Ayurveda after doing her MD from Jamnagar. She is teaching Ayurveda from last 3 decades. Welcome, auntie. Welcome, madam.
Thank you very much. I want to show my slide. So please.
Sure, you can.
You can please share, ma'am.
I hope.
Please common use, please arrange. Can you do?
Please guide me. What should we do?
This screen should be common. Yes,
Yes, yes.
yes, yes. Just wait.
I hope my IT team has made you co-host. You are already co-host, Auntie. Please proceed.
Yes.
She is my Guru Mata. When my first child born, who is in UK now, he came to my house and stayed for 4 months at together like my mother.
Yes.
You can share, madam.
Can you see?
Not
Can
at, not at present. Is there any technical glitch, madam? Auntie? Share the screen and then again share.
I want to share this my slide.
Yes.
Then where to?
अपनी स्लाइडर दिखा दी सर.
You are permitted, auntie. In the middle, green
वो भी दिखाओ भी.
share screen. Click on share screen, then
Yes.
again screen, then share screen, and then open the PowerPoint.
Share screen, no?
Yes. Yes. Well
Is it
done.
open?
Yes,
Is it
excellent,
open?
excellent.
Thank you. Sorry, I took time. And now I want to narrate about Ayurveda Society in Japan and what is activity. It will cover today's subject, I think so. Namaste, Team Swasthayu 2K22. I am Dr. Inamura, Hiroshima, Japan. It is my great pleasure to associate with Team Swasthayu 2K22 KLM, Academy of Higher Education and Research, and the Ayurvedic activities of education, research, and exchange of knowledge in the benefit of practitioners, students, teachers, and researchers. These are my photo and husband, Sharmaji. Ayurveda Society in Japan established since 1975. Society conducts studies and seminar program once in a year at various places in Japan. Also, Ayurveda promote Ayurveda among public and academic organization of modern medicine, Chinese medicine, Tibetan medicine, the complementary alternative medicine, and TM, traditional medicine organization. Our society has members about 600 to 800 members every year, and organizing annual conference every year, Tokyo, Osaka, Nagoya, Fukuoka, Hokkaido, etc., to discuss reporting of clinical pharmacological output. Professor Maruyama, Professor Hatay These doctors are a main person to establish our society. Our publications. We have a translation of Burihatu-Turayi, Charaka Sanhita, Sutrastan, Susruta Sanhita, complete, Ashtanga Hridayam, Sutrastanam. These are available in Japanese translation. This is the book, Charaka Sanhita, Susruta Sanhita, and Ashtanga Hridayam. And also, we issue magazines studied on Ayurveda. It is from very beginning, number zero started because zero was found in India. Like this, now it is coming 48, 50, 53 up to. And Shanti Magara, it is information magazine, and which is Orwa magazine. Every year, conference will be there, such abstracts will be issued. And 2008 at the 30th anniversary, I compilation made after 3 years papers, research papers. And papers which I issued nearly at that time, 3,000 pages are there and 540 papers nearly, and mainly basic principle and medicine, Kaya Chikitsa. Then comes Dravya Guna Rasa Sastra and psychiatry field. And English paper also we had many, and nearly 360 pages, and mainly Maulik Siddhanta, Kaya Chikitsa, etc. And more than 100 books are written by the society members. These are Bharapeta, Dinacharya, today's subject, Ritucharya, like this, daily and seasonal regimen, written by me. And society member introduction to Ayurveda, that also written. Like this, publication is going on. When 30th anniversary of our society meeting, I invited CG of India, and he honored to our Professor Hatai due to his devotion to Ayurveda. This is 37th annual meet at Kobe. Nearly 1,500 people are gathered, and 3 organizations was joined along with yoga. And she is from Bangalore, yoga professor, and he is ENT professor, Udayashankar. More than 100 guest speakers from India, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, Vietnam, Bangladesh, Thailand, like this, from Europe, Italy, France, UK, Germany, etc. USA, Argentina also. Now, recent development in the field of Ayurvedic research in Japan, I will narrate. Clinical research on Ayurveda in Japan, what we are doing. We have 4 sub-research societies of our society. One is Kshara Sutra Research Society. Since 1985 it is carrying. Then 2015 Shalakya Tantram Societies. Then 2018 Panchakarma Society started. Then this year Bharaveda Society started. These were members of Kshara Sutra Society. And on 10th anniversary seminar, we invited Professor O.D. Daveji from Jodhpur, Rajasthan Ayurveda University. More than 50 anorectal surgeons practice in Japan Kshara Sutra treatment. Now they researched pharmacological action of used herbs that you know very well, Sunuhi, Apamarga, Haridra. Sunuhi action. What is action that will be known very well. Then this is reported from 85 to 1993. Kshara Sutra versus operation. What is the difference? Hospitalization period, it is a day. Kshara Sutra take 15.4 days. Against this, operation take 29.8 days. Means hospitalization time is minimized by Kshara Sutra treatment. Also, healing time, it is weeks. Kshara Sutra 4.6 and operation 8.6 weeks means Kshara Sutra healing time also, it gives a very short time. And another report I want to say, Professor of Pharmacology, Kanagawa University, Mikage, Professor Masayuki Mikage, and his team, after 10 years research work of Kshara of Japanese herbs, were found he succeeded to prepare Kshara Sutra as made in Japan. This is 3 countries Kshara Sutra. It is India made, Sri Lanka made, and it is Japan made. And India made is a very strong Kshara, and Japanese Kshara is somewhat mild, but it is fit to Japanese prakriti. Like this, it is researched. And advantage of Kshara Sutra in complicated cases also, in Ayurvedic text, it is contraindicated, it is reported, but Japanese anorectal surgeon, they researched and treated such cases, hypertension, heart disease, liver disease, Crohn's disease, leukemia like this. So Kshara Sutra have a very wide utility, it is shown. These are Sharakya Tantram Society gathering, and Nasya we do. And after Nasya, what will be effect of the CNS means sympathetic nerve and parasympathetic nerve. And it becomes, it make a balance of both nerves. So people get very relaxed. So this shows this thing. And we put in our finger to pin, then blood comes out. Then blood we could see, we observed. This is before Nasya. This blood cell margin is very irregular, but after Nasya, it is very smooth, and these blood cells are congested, but it is very keeping space means blood flow may be very arranged, very good in a way. Like this in Karuna Purana also, we took first audioscopic test, then whether it is good or not. After that, we will do Karuna Purana. Like this, we do practice. And Panchakarma Society started 2018 from Kolkata. Dr. Pradumna was invited. Along with this, my consultation was going on. These are sterility treatment, as you know. I treated wife and husband. And lastly, follicle test was done. Before IV laser treatment, modern treatment, they could not success. But after treatment of Ayurveda, pregnancy continued successfully, and these two twins are born, and they are very fine today also. Now they are primary school. And research, Shirodara, it is done by Dr. Uebaba. And after that, this is Shirodara ECG topogram, and alpha wave, beta wave, like this. Before Shirodara, during, and after. So alpha wave was observed, and even theta wave also. It means this Shirodara gives a very good effect, just like after deep concentration of such state of mind. Like this, we have done. And how it gives to blood pressure, systolic, diastolic, and up to 10 minutes, it will be somewhat irregular, but after 10 minutes, it will become done both systolic, diastolic. Like this, we have done. And this is my case, fish scale skin disease. After treatment of 10 months, her hand was very beautiful, clean. And there is a pharmacological study, ashwagandha. Dr. Toda, Komatsu, and Kubayama, Toyama Medical and Pharmaceutical University. And the improvement of neurodegenerative disease by components of ashwagandha, they have detected ashwagandha, identified its components, vitanolide A, vitanoside 4, vitanoside 6, and animal experiment mouse which injured its spinal cord were given vitanoside 4 orally for 20 days continuously. Then evaluation of hindering motor function, immunostained bone marrow tissue was studied. Result observed improvement of motor function, significantly observed action extension. It increases peripheral myelin significantly. The vitanoside 4 has role of formation of synapse and effect to extend action. Like this, their eye status. Participated eye seminar in Japan. 2018, first eye seminar was organized by Indian Embassy, Tokyo. And first eye seminar was organized Osaka, Kobe by the Consulate General of Japan. And at this year, 70th anniversary of Indo-Japan diplomatic relations, since week was Science Week was organized Embassy of India, Tokyo. These are stuff, and this ambassador, and they are opening. Commemorating 70th anniversary of Indo-Japan diplomatic relation, like this, it goes. Certification of Osaka Ayurveda Kenkyusho, Honorable Consul General of India, Osaka, Kobe, blessed our students. It is going on, and this is 2016, and this year, this CG of India, Osaka, Kobe, Mr. Nikhilesh Chandra Giriji visited us and blessed our students. These were photos. And India also, Diksha Samaroha was done at Ananda, Dr. Jha in his clinic. These are our students. The cultivation of Ayurvedic herb is there in Japan. It Ishigaki Island, tulsi was cultivated very well and it is popular now in Japan. And the MOU Ayurveda Society in Japan and Dr. S.R. Rajasthan Ayurveda University, we have tied up MOU this year. These are Rajasthan Ayurveda University, Jodhpur. And Nagoya annual seminar was over just October, and Dr. P.P. Vyas was invited. These are our society members. And his subject, he delivered a lecture, Role of Swarna Prashana in Growth and Development in Children. And in Japan, Policy Bureau of Kanagawa Prefecture, Healthcare New Frontier Policy was started 2015. The policy of Mibyo issued as preventive like this. This Kanagawa Prefecture, they have tied up with Ayush of India and Tokyo University like that. It is going on. And Ayurveda and yoga, it is just both beer of Rata beer. So body and mind should be very careful and by the doing Swasthayu and yoga practice. It is 2017 International Day of Yoga in Kyoto. 1,500 people are gathered in Kyoto. This is all. Thank you very much for your audience. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It is directly communicated. Thank you very much, Auntie. It is directly communicated that over traffic is on. Madam is asking experts to Japan also. And on behalf of Dr. Swasthayu, my brother, I would like to request Japan Society of Ayurveda to collaborate with KLE for two-way traffic. Experts can also go to train the students in Japan, and your students can also come here for training. So we would like to request you to all experts of Ayurveda in Japan under your valuable leadership, madam, that please facilitate us for this MOU between KLE University and your society for two-way traffic. Our senior students, learned students, this much I can assure. I have not seen institute like KLE, excellent institute, well managed under leadership of Dr. Prabhakar and Dr. Swasthayu ji. Thank you, Auntie, very much. And we are expecting MOU soon with KLE. Thank you very much. So nice of you.
Amidst us today, we have another teacher and an Ayurvedic practitioner from Japan, Dr. Shiho Okawa. Dr. Okawa is the vice principal at Japan Ayurveda School and is practicing Panchakarma on Japanese population since more than a decade. We request ma'am to please take over, and we are eagerly waiting to hear from you. Dr. Shiho Okawa.
Yes. Can you see my slide?
Yes, madam.
Okay. So namaste, everybody. So this is I'm glad to have this opportunity to share my view regarding this situation in Japan. So I am the student of the Dr. Inamura Hiroe Sharma. So I am just having the same topic as she explained, but she explained already very well. Those explanation is according to my point of view. So please bear with me. So scope and the practice of Ayurveda in Japan. And then I have been practicing Ayurveda since 10 years. So according to my 10 years practice, what I can see is just I'm going to share. So scope of Ayurveda with special reference to Swasthayu specialty in Japan. So what I was thinking about this topic is So in the concept of Ayurveda already exists in Japan, in Japanese tradition. So for example, some of the quotation, like a proverb, the early bird catches the worm. So it say in Japanese language, hayaoki wa sammon no toku. It's very similar to the concept of the Brahma Muhurta, wake up in the Brahma Muhurta. So the Japanese tradition, we have been practicing the wake up in the early morning already. And also, for example, eating moderately keep the doctors away. So which means should not eat full stomach. So that also matches with our classics and our Japanese tradition too. So it's same way it's going on. Many proverbs is matched with our tradition and Ayurveda classics too. Then other things is also the green tea at the end of the meal is our tradition too. So the kashaya rasa, it should be tasted in the end of the meal. That also matches with the Ayurveda concept and the Japanese tradition too. So some of the example I just mentioned here, and this is the sweets, Japanese sweets with some of the red beans paste and then jaggery syrup is poured on the some fruits and sweets. This is especially eaten in the summertime. So our classics also mentioned in the summer we should eat some sweet and also somewhat dravata food. So it's also in tradition we have the same concept too. And this is a hot pot, especially eaten in the winter. So this also mentioned in our classics too. So now in Japan, it already come into the shishira ritu. So we now enjoying this kind of hot pot a lot this season. It's very traditional Japanese style of the food and also very Ayurvedic way of the eating. So Japanese diet is very much matches with the Ayurveda concept too. So I also want to mention there's a 6 variety of the flavor in the regular Japanese meal. So here, this is the rice is madura, and this is the plum pickle is amla, and this is grilled fish which is lavan taste, and on top this grilled fish is chopped ginger which is katurasa, and the miso soup made from the soya beans which is kashaya rasa. So the fried egg is ravana, and madura seaweed is tikta, and boiled vegetable madura ravana. So all this usual Japanese meal already consists of the shat rasa in there. So, but of course, these days Japanese tradition is kind of fade away. New generation is eager to eat more pizza and hamburger, just like Indian population too. So we are recommending the Japanese kids to back to the Japanese tradition as well as consider the Ayurveda concept too. So next, opportunities and the challenge in the practice. So according to Japanese Ministry of Health and Labor and Welfare, Japanese universal health insurance system is very much covered all the medical insurance. So all citizens are covered by public medical insurance in Japan. For example, if I get some fever or for, let's say in COVID, the all treatment will be the free. So free choice of the medical institution too. So any modern hospital we can go, and then they are charging very minimum, like a 30% of all the cost we pay, and 70% the government will be backup covered. So number 3, advanced medical care at low medical cost. So that is already all Japanese population covered with this health insurance system. So the point is modern treatment is much cheaper than Ayurvedic treatment in Japan. So this is very difficult. For example, in India, maybe Ayurveda treatment is a little bit cheaper than modern treatment, but in Japan, this is vice versa. So although it is very expensive, but still the number of the cases, the people coming to the Ayurveda hospital nowadays. So I have back to practice in Japan since last 4 years again. So these 4 years, now the patient in the Ayurveda clinic is increasing a lot. Now we have a full booked for 3 months now. So the next topic is recent development in the field of Ayurveda in the research wise. So the gut microbe analysis has been done in some of our patients. So in our hospital, we are practicing Panchakarma too, not the Vamana, but Virejan and Nasya and Basti are well practiced in Japan. So Ayurveda treatment has been given to the 13 patient, and then we are checking the gut microbe before treatment, during the treatment, after treatment, and after 1 month of completion of the treatment. So 4 times we are collecting the gut microbiota, and we are checking the what change has been seen. So this is already published in the following this information. If you are interested, please check that the research paper. And here I show this 4 variety of the ghee. All ghees are handmade. Like some of the Mahatiktaka Gurta, some are the just the Trifara Gurta, some of the ghee is made from the fresh butter. Because if we import some ghee from India, sometimes ghee smell like a little bit acidified. So the ghee should be good smell to improve the agni. So as a Shodhana Snehapana. And this is also one of the patients. He was getting some bypass surgery. And then just after the surgery, 1 week, he joined the Panchakarma camp. And during 10 days, his scar completely cured and his gait improved a lot. And his good appetite too. So some of the cases we are accumulating to publish for the future Ayurveda in Japan. So also we are doing the Panchakarma study group. Just now, Dr. Inamura mentioned that the Japan Ayurveda Society have some subgroup of the study group. So here, under the supervision of Dr. Inamura Hiroe Sharma, and many of the modern doctors and the Ayurveda doctors and the experienced Panchakarma therapists, we all get together and discussing mode of action of the Basti while exchanging the opinions. So some of the doctors are surgeons and some are the heart specialists. So they give a lot of the information about how the Matra Basti can be absorbed through the mucous membrane of the intestine. And he came to some kind of conclusion, maybe Matra Basti is absorbed near anal region and go to the heart and the brain. And the Niruha Basti can go inside more deeper and then ascending colon, descending colon. This area, the mucous membrane can be absorbed and directly go to the portal vein. So this kind of discussion is going on. So we will continue for the next year too. So experienced as an Ayurveda ambassador in Japan. So I am vice principal of Japan Ayurveda School. Our school has a 750 hours of curriculum. So if the student wants to complete this 750 hours curriculum, it will take 5 years to complete. So this curriculum, most of the BAMS curriculum are covered, like a Sharira Kuriya, Sharira Rachan, Swasthayu, and Vaishya Karpan. We are also making the Kushuman Avalekh and Sneha Karpa we also covered. And the total number of the graduates are 1,300 students, last 27 years. Then also I'm practicing Ayurveda in the Tokyo Hatai Clinic. This is Dr. Hatai. He established this clinic. This year, Hatai Clinic will be 40th anniversary, 40. So in Japanese practice, Japanese Ayurveda practice is very different in Indian Ayurveda practice, because I have been practicing Ayurveda in Panchakarma department at IPGTRA Jamnagar. So there, the patient spend maybe 5 minutes, maximum 10 minutes if I spend much more time, I will get scored because there's 100 patients coming in the morning 3 hours. So, but in Japan, I took 1 hour consultation in each patient and then prescribe the medicine. It's because Aushada as a medicine, I cannot prescribe complete all Ayurvedic medicine in Japan because legal issue. So the Ahara Vihara is a main prescription, Patya Apatya along with. And common complaint in our clinic is infertility, male and female, and then depression, overweight, skin element is a lot. And musculoskeletal disease and rheumatoid arthritis and many of autoimmune disease too. So and also once a year, we are doing Panchakarma camp at near Mount Fuji. Since 16 years, every year it continues. But the last time was 2019, because of the COVID came. So we are stopping since 3 years. So last time was 2019. So 8 days, 5 days, modified schedule of the Basti has been done. And then Virechan with handmade medicated ghee. And then SSPS means Shastik Shari Pindasveda for nine days. And Nasya and Abhyanga and total 13 patients are taking for the treatment. This is our cottage. So the atmosphere is very good, just like a Kerala, a lot of the greenery, and we can see the Mount Fuji. And the food also prepared with special Ayurvedic dietitian. So here are some of the picture, which is our school. So we have some student, and every day they are coming for the practice, for the education. So Jai Ayurveda. Thank you very much.
Excellent, Madam Oikaba. Excellent. Now, my request is again the same. I'm requesting you to start a movement there in Japan. So our Ayurveda can cover in your national health scheme and insurance also. So this expensive theory will be nullified by the insurance. If people get insurance over Ayurvedic medicine, definitely he will prefer to our Ayurvedic medicine.
Sure, yes.
Yes,
That will happen.
Respected auntie, and you are the pillar of Ayurveda in there. I remember one Ayurvedic instance, one Nadi Pariksha webinar, Professor Harishankar Sharma ji organized before 30 years. From Japan, a team of scientists and videographer came into that, and they provided us the solution of Nadi Pariksha and Ras Shastra. Taking off that bottle for Kupi Pakku Rasayan, they gave us fireproof bottle after 3 months. So really, I salute the zeal of scientific brain of the Japan. Thank you very much. Again, I am requesting, please invite experts from KLE to teach, and please send your students to have their higher education in KLE. Thank you very much, madam. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Name a person who is much closely associated with KLE Ayurveda and is actively involved in uniting Ayurvedic professionals and propagating Ayurveda in the West through various webinars. A successful practitioner and the president of Association of Ayurvedic Professionals of North America, Pennsylvania, USA, Dr. Shekhar Annambotla. Sir, we are honored to have your presence and we are curious to hear from you. Over to you, sir.
Welcome, Dr. Shekhar, welcome.
Thank you. I'm going to share my screen. Please allow me to share this.
Sure. Who cannot allow you? No permission is required for Shekhar.
Yeah, and host. You need to make me a host.
I hope they have made you the co-host. Yes.
Okay, grounded. Om Namami Dhanvantari Madidevam Surasurair Vandita Pada Padmam Loke Jararubhaya Murtyunasham Dataramisham Vividaushadina. Hari Om. Namaste to all. welcome you all for the KLE Swasthayu, a international consortium and conference with dignitaries and my fellow brothers and sisters who are participating in this online and offline conference. So today, the scope and practice of Ayurveda were discussed in the just now with Japanese dignitaries and experts in the field of Ayurveda. They discussed. I'm audible?
Yes, sir.
Loud and clear. Hari-Om.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay. So as you know that I'm the founder, president of the organization, of the director, and as well as I am steering of so many activities over 35 years in my practice. I'm a founder, president of the APNA, Association of Ayurveda Professionals of North Africa. I have my private practice called OJAS, Ayurveda Wellness Center, OJAS Limited Liability Company, that is called LLC. And along with that, global Ayurveda conferences, we have done more than 50 conferences, online and offline conferences, and as well as Ayurveda, Global Ayurveda Academy, where the educational programs, we create MOUs with various institutions and various organizations and setups like that. We also created an AACCAC, that is called American Ayurvedic Certification Credentialing Accreditation Council. This is a recent council we started. Along with that, my product line is called Dosha Botanicals. So it's not necessarily like that. We are talking about a lot of people talking about the cholesterol, hypothyroidism, thyroidism, cancer, and everything. But the concept is very important for us. We need to talk our concept of knowledge. That means we have to stick on to our doshas. If the patient comes with a Dr. Shekhar, I have a thyroid problem. It's not mentioned in anywhere in Ayurveda. We are not talking about thyroid disease. We are talking about doshas. What doshas are? Imbalance is there. Samadosha, samagnischa, samadhatu malakriya, prasanna, atma indriya manaha, swasthaitya vidiyate. So that is the thing. We are going to look into the doshas, dhatus, malas, agni, ama, all the different conditions. We have to look into that. Then you stick to your knowledge, your scope of practice you are maintaining. As long as you are going to this Western world, Western terminology and everything, you are jeopardizing your practice and everything. You are not successfully practicing Ayurveda. And also, I am International Institute of Integrative Medicine, Andhra Pradesh, India. Of course, practiced more than 30 countries since 1988. Netherlands, Austria, Hungary, Italy, Germany, France, Switzerland. Next step is that I wanted to go to Japan. And the Guruji, I will meet Guruji in Japan. So travel, and more than 32,000 patients, not in India, in various countries. I have helped with the people, with the clients or patients we call, and I have done myself alone 12,500 abhyangas, because touch is a wonderful therapy and is connecting to the physiology of the person. And more than 1,400 panchakarma therapies and shirodharas and 650 katibastis, and along with that, Ayurvedic cooking classes is a very important, intricate part of things. That the food is a connecting substance. It's not like a dietitian. We are not a dietitians. We are a food and nutrition consultants. We talk about rasa, guna, virya, vipaka, prabhava, and all the qualities of the each and every herb and every plant, every food. We have to talk about that. And taught Ayurvedic pulse technique courses and Marma therapy courses. I'm a Marma expert also. I teach various courses in the massage therapists and health professionals, physical therapists, and everybody. And we have done 50 conferences and trained more than 800 students in Ayurveda, and free medical camps conducted in India, and more than 12,000 patients we give the medicines for them. And now, in addition to that, what I am doing, I am collaborating with various universities, particularly University of Pennsylvania Medical School and Jefferson Medical University and Hershey Medical University, Medical College, and University of Dentistry in New Jersey, and also Dauphin Medical Society in Harrisburg in Hershey Medical School, and St. Luke's, Penn State, Lehigh Carbon Community College, and University of Penn Nursing School, Phoebe retirement community, because a lot of places people think about that retirement community, how the geriatrics, Ayurvedic geriatrics, Rasayana Chikitsa, Vajikana Chikitsa, how we can incorporate into the old age people and senior citizens. This is also, we do a lot of activities there. And this is the associations and affiliations with that. In 35 years of time, over a period of 3 decades, I have associated with various institutions and various organizations. The scope of Ayurveda, with a special reference to Swasthayu, that is our today's topic. We are going to discuss about that. Scope of Ayurveda. So what Ayurveda in the Western countries, what we can offer it. So modern medicine having preventive care, which is by vaccines and by giving of injections, inoculations, those type of things they can do it, are germicidal and things like that, like lotions and all the type of things. Other than that, preventive care is Ayurveda talks a lot. So Ayurveda always talks about the heyam dukkham anagatam, avoid the danger before it comes. So prevention is better than cure. So we need to Ayurvedic practitioners, Ayurvedic fraternity to stick on to this preventive care. How the preventive care can be done through the Swasthayu program, this program which is a conference there, we have to come up with the outcome of these things, how our dinacharya, ritucharya, and your emotional balance, sadvrutta, yoga, all the principles can, how they can improve your overall health of the individual. Daily routine, natural cleansing programs. What happens to the body? One day if you do, your body, if you are doing intermittent fasting, is very popular in the United States of America. And if you think about that, doing a one-day fasting, like in ancient time, we have textbooks mentioned that Ekadasi, Dwadasi, various festivals, we do the fastings, Upavasa, and Langhana. Langhanam Paramaushadam. So that the best medicine is called Langhana, is the one of the best medicine. Lagu Ahara, taking of Lagu Ahara is the best medicine. We are looking for all the medicines, Bruhatva Chintamani and Samirapan Nagaras and all the things. Instead of that, look into that. Langhana fasting is the best way to do it. Yoga and breathing techniques. I'm also a registered yoga teacher and trained from the Swami Vivekananda Yoga Institute from Bangalore, and also seasonal cleansing programs. Meditation is a strong, powerful meditation relaxation technique is there, and a lot of people who are having psychosomatic disorders, 70% of the diseases are arising from the psychological imbalances, emotional imbalances, divorces and family traumas, abuses, sexual abuses, or mental abuses, and so many abuses are happening there. And that is the reason that meditation will really help a lot for the people. Group meditations and satsangs and everything will be definitely helpful. Cooking and culinary skills are also very important for maintenance of the good health. Now, always we dream about that. All in India, a lot of Ayurvedic colleges and institutions and universities are there. Every BIMS graduate, postgraduate and PhD student and scholars, professors, principals and everybody wanted to travel to abroad and teach Ayurveda to the abroad. First of all, I always request you that how you are able to communicate well, how well you are communicating well. You are not like simply talking about sloka, chanting of slokas and everything. That is not important. How the Sanskrit sloka, if you are using, how you able to clearly explain to the people in the Western audience. Like you talk about a simple thing, samadosha samagnisa samadhatu malakriyaha. This is the medical MBBS student. In the medical college, if you talk like that, they will throw you out. They will throw you out. Even they cannot understand what is dosha, what is dhatu, what is mala, what is agni, what is ama. They cannot understand. How as a Western, how you are Ayurvedic student, Ayurvedic graduate, when they are training these things. So that is the reason what we needed to do. The people who are traveling, practicing in various countries, Ayurvedic doctors, Ayurvedic practitioners, Ayurvedic teachers, they have to collaborate all the Ayurvedic colleges, not only KLE, all the Ayurvedic colleges in India, universities, they have to connect with them and ask them to come and give lectures to their students. How to speak for the Western audience, what is the scope of practices and everything that just simply, sir, I have a visa is there. I wanted to come. I wanted to see my daughter-in-law is there, and I wanted to give lecture in your colleges. This type of lecture, emails I get regularly, frequently, but when I put them in front of the audience of Western audience, they cannot talk properly. And I take the evaluation from the teacher who teach this student, even though he is a gold medalist, but if he teaches that Western audience, particularly American audience or any audience, we take the evaluation, oh, we understand only 10%. Why? We need to know more about how to communicate well. The skills are very important. These skills has to be developed. Only the way is that it will develop when you invite the Ayurvedic graduates and students, not only me. I'm not asking you to come to all the colleges. I cannot come to all the colleges, but there are so many people are there. First, identify Ayush trained Ayurvedic doctors. The government of India, Ayush Ministry has to think about that. How many Ayurvedic graduates of Ayurvedic trained BAMS, MD, PhD Ayurveda students who are in abroad, Sri Lanka and America, Japan, Australia, Germany, India, Sweden, all the countries where they are there. There are some Ayurvedic practitioners who are not trained by the Ayush, but they are trained by the local colleges like us. We are teaching them to giving certification for them. Certification, not like a graduate degrees or doctoral degrees, we are not giving them. Those graduates also has to come and speak about that Ayurveda to the Western Indian audience. How do we speak about that? This is a wonderful thing that what we are doing. World Ayurveda Congress in Goa, it is happening. We are having a lot of meetings with the discussions with the government of India and ministries and everything like that. And opportunity, study of allied health professional. What they are doing, Ayurvedic graduates who are passing from India, when they come to these various countries, particularly in America, when they are coming, and they are, first of all, we recommend them to study the allied health professional training programs or certification program, like such as naturopathy, physical therapy, nursing school, physician assistant programs, or massage therapy, or acupuncture. Various courses are there. Once you study that one, that means you are not degrading the Ayurveda. What you are doing, you are training to getting the training and language, lingo. You are getting a lingo to practice Ayurveda, the rules and regulations, laws and regulations and everything you need to know. So another thing is that in the law is written clearly that if you don't know, if you do mistakes, sir, I did a mistake, I don't know the law. That is your mistake. It is your fault. You need to know about the law, what to do, what to talk, how to talk, communicate, how to communicate, how to please the person. And integrity, dignity, and code of ethics and everything is very, very important. And then only you will become successful practitioner. And at the same time, one important thing for the Ayurvedic graduates, Ayurvedic practitioner, Ayurvedic teachers, compassion. Compassion is very important. Educating the public and health professionals at large. Always people are looking for that. There are mushrooming of Ayurvedic schools and colleges are opening in India, in America particularly, and everywhere in the world, but they are graduating the students left and right. Like giving certificates to the people. Why? First of all, what we needed to do, how much population aware about Ayurveda? Even the word Ayurveda, they cannot say properly. Ayurveda, Ayurveda. Reverberation between the Ayu and Veda is called Ayurveda. Between the Veda and Ayurveda, they are reverberating each other. They are connecting to each other. Then only the knowledge is pouring. Offering various integrative training programs in the mainstream medical schools and centers. This is the thing what we needed to do. We need to go to every medical school. We need to teach what is Ayurveda. Stick to the Ayurvedic principles. So this is the thing is important. We need to educate them, people like that. Like talking about that Citraka, Plumbago xylanica is good for cancer. It's a biochemist can tell. But what is the thing is how the Citraka, the Plumbago xylanicum is affecting on the cancer patients on the cellular level and dhatu level, dhatu paka level, and at the same Srotas level, and at the same time various organs and everything, how it is acting. That is the thing we need to explain to the people like that. What is the puppet knowledge of a copycat like that? What we are getting the knowledge from the Western psychology, this pharmacist doing that, we are telling the people. Ashwagandha is adaptogenic quality. I asked one of the Ayurvedic graduate from trained in India and these things. I asked them, what is the quality of the ashwagandha? Oh, sir, ashwagandha is adaptogenic quality. What is the meaning of adaptogenic quality? What is the rasaguna viryavipak prabhava? Sir, I forgotten this course, this knowledge. I studied long time back. This is the thing we need to remember these things, how it is acting on the things, how it is affecting on things. Language is very important. Challenges, not accepting the independent as the independent licensed professionals. Why Ayurveda is not become popular in the Western countries? Because of course in India also not much there, but still there. But it's a complete licensed profession in India, Nepal, and Sri Lanka and various countries. Whereas in India, Sweden, in Japan, Australia, New Zealand, or all the countries where the Ayurveda is not as a complete full-fledged form of licensed profession or the mainstream medicine. What we are doing here, we need to work on that. We need to work on that, how it can be a licensed profession. For that, what we needed to do? There are so many ways to do it. I can tell you one thing is that, we are accepting the insurance. What type of insurance we do it? Health savings account. Health savings account we do it, and flex savings accounts also we do it. Various things like that. And various organizations are working in America, and APNA and to the NAMA and various organizations. I listed all the Ayurvedic organizations, and various things are more than 30 organizations are working in the Ayurveda promotion and everything. And recent developments in the field of our research, yes, no systemic research is done in America. Why? Because there is no funding. Every research need a funding. Who is going to provide the funding? Private organizations, private institutions, not sufficient. And government of America. There are some studies are done in the National Institute of Health in Washington, DC. Research on the breast cancer survivors found positive effect on the integrated Ayurvedic medicine. Ayurvedic medicine improved quality of lifestyle and diet, yoga, and pressure point therapies like marma therapy and other things. I should work with the MIA, that is called Ministry of External Affairs, to organize preventive care research. Their funding should come out from the Ayush Ministry and collaborate with the medical schools and medical institutions. That's very important. Like that. And experience as an Ayurvedic ambassador. Of course, you know that about me, what I did it 35 years, whatever I am doing the work, and I'm promoting the Ayurveda from full-fledgedly. I work 7 days a week, 7/24. I always available. People think about that. 7/24 means 7 days, 24 hours I work. Chair and Ayush status. What is the chair and Ayush status? What they can do it? We have given us several memorandums and a request to the government of India as well as Ayush Ministry and everything. We are working on that. Department of Ayush chair from India has to come one person, one dignitary who is a well-versed training program where communication skills are there. Not necessarily that the old person, like a retired person. Retired person, no use, because he's already retired from his work. We need to have a dynamic person like a Dr. Suhas Shetty, who is highly qualified, PhD, principal. He should be deputed as a chair like that. Like Prasanna Rao, B.S. Prasad, these are the people are there, great people are there. These people has to come like that. Working with the MIA, Ministry of External Affairs, and Indian Consulate Generals. Regular meetings with the local. This is the big mistake what they are doing. They are not, all the Ayush Ministry, Ayush chairs, they never communicate with any organizations. What I request the people that in this platform, I request you that it's not like that. We don't care about that. We are practitioners here. We are making our own money. We are living in our own. We have a scope of practices. We have liabilities are there. We have protection schemes are there. But the thing is, what I will request you that the MIA, the Indian Consulate Generals, or the Ayush Ministry has to locally working with the local Ayurvedic schools and Ayurvedic colleges and everything, meeting with the renowned Ayurvedic practitioners and doctors in India, in America, and at the same time organizing conferences. Now, until now, we need to have a collaborative conferences to be done with the Ayush Ministry as well as the Indian Consulate General and local organizations together, one big conference like World Ayurveda Congress, like how we did it like that. Similar way, American Ayurvedic conference has to be done, and we invite all the speakers to come. 5-day program or 7 days program to be successfully do it, then Ayurveda become popularized. Legal strategies and norms in the concern to the practice of Ayurveda. This is the legalities. Here, very important that everybody think about that. Hey, I wanted to practice Ayurveda. There is no legal guidelines are there. Yes, there are plenty of legal liabilities are there. If the legal liabilities comes on you, then you cannot survive. You cannot survive. Millions of dollars are poured on that, and the legal problems will be there. You have to be extra careful how you talk, how you present, how you communicate, how you treat the people. This is all the legal aspects are there, and the legal boundaries are very, very important like that. So for that, we have to follow some guidelines of the things, Ayurvedic entry-level training. This is the very scope of practice. We are always giving the students very important that the scope of practice is very important. Ayurvedic health, lifestyle consultant, health counselor, practitioners, Ayurvedic doctors, and doctors of Ayurvedic medicine, integrative Ayurvedic doctors, integrative Ayurvedic researchers, and we have put them together, a lot of information together, all the things like that together. This is all the lot of information which is there. So in my clinical practice, this is my practice center where we do the practice and the teaching of Ayurveda practices like that. This is my clinical practice of these things. Panchakarma, 1400 patients we have, Panchakarma patients we have done. In this research, more 40 to 50 years of age people, 34% are there. Research work is done, and of the more female patients, 70% of the females are receiving the Panchakarma therapy because they are more health conscious and everything. And in addition to that, and Prakriti wise, we have analyzed it that way. Prakriti, what is the Prakriti? Predominant like that. Pitta Vata Prakriti people are more prone to come to the Panchakarma because they are more health conscious and everything. We have database we have created like that. And in addition to that, Manasa Prakriti is very important. Sattva, Rajas, Tamo gunas. In this Rajasic qualities are more predominantly we see these people, and there is a performa and format is there. This is the subdoshas. What type of subdosha? Prana, Udana, Samana, Apana, Vyana, Pachaka, Ranjaka, Sadhaka, Alojaka, Brajaka, Kledaka, Avalambaka, Bodhaka, Tarpaka, Sleshaka. These are the various things are there. Sadhaka Pitta, emotional things. As I told you that the conclusion is coming from the 1400 patients who have received Panchakarma therapies. Sadhaka Pitta is the primary cause of creating the problem. In addition to that, Apanavata, the dietary consumption is not correctly done here in the United States of America. And these are the mainly Rasadhatu vitiation is happening when the Rasadhatu is disturbed, and every dosha will be disturbed. Rasa Rakta Mamsa Meda Sasti Madhya Shukra. These are the Rasadhatu is affected more. And if you look into that, and Panchakarma subjects, Agni level also we have assessed that the Vishama Agni, irregular digestive fire, which is 48% of the people who are having a Vishama Agni, and Costa, we have also done Costa examination like that. Kurora Costa, people who are having really tough Costa, that is also 40% of the people, of course. Majjama Costa is 32%. And vegetarians, non-vegetarian, mixed group of people also we have done. And a lot of people are mixed vegetarians and non-vegetarians. That is 54% of the people, and people who are irregular pattern of eating habits. So that is also very important factor. And Panchakarma subjects with these things. And then what are the therapies we have done here in America? Snehana, Swedana, Vishesha therapy, Udvartana, Swedana, and Snehana, Swedana, Vamana. Some patients we have done Vamana therapy, and Virechana, Basti therapy, and Basti is the Matra Basti, Kashaya Basti, and Astapana Basti, and Niruha Bastis, Nashya therapy, Netra Basti, Kati Basti, Hrud Basti, Nabhi Basti, Shiro Basti, Shirodhara with oils, Tailadhara, and Shirodhara with Chakradhara, Shirodhara, Shiro Pichu, Pidichal, and Gandusha, Kavala, all the varieties of therapies we do perform in our wellness center. So this is the statistical data, and we have seen the improvement in the 1400 patients, how the improvement is there. Simple questionnaire, we ask them that digestion, sleep, constipation, clearance of the sinuses, flexibility of the joints, physical energy, lightness of the body, discomfort and pain, dryness of the skin, fatigue, circulation, vision, how the improvement vision, and breathing pattern and cardiovascular endurance, gas and flatulence, complexion, allergies, immune system, physical endurance, various things we have taken care of these things. And finally, we are coming with these things. Time is very limited for me. And dosha balance, we have done the Veda pulse analysis like the dosha balance, and we have shown the database how that things are happening there, and his improvement is there.
Yeah.
And this dhatus, malas, agni, ama, and various conditions we have taken. And this is all the statistical data we have done. And before and after treatment, chakra energies also, how it is shifted there. And energy levels, how the energy levels are shifted. And osteopathic levels, how the changes are happening. Overall improvement, we have seen the marked improvement is 30% and complete improvement 23% has shown.
Excellent.
So this is the statistical data with
Right.
all the complete improvement and everything. And we have set up this Ayurveda College, American College of Ayurveda. These are the certification programs, and American Council of Ayurvedic Education. These are the board of directors and various experts in the field of our board of advisors and board of directors. We are working with this APNA and FAAPNA fellow of Association of Ayurvedic Professionals of North America. We request all the Ayurvedic graduates from India and postgraduates can join in the APNA, and we have free membership for all the people. More than 370,000 people, and that means 3 lakh people are there around the country. 134 countries are joined with us in our hands. The board certification and registrations like that. And why next year we are doing 8th World Ayurveda Day. We have pavement these things November 10th, 2023. Our vision is clear. Our motto is clear. Our hidden agenda is clear. Everything is clear what we are putting together. This is the 2047, 100 years of our India's Independence Day. We are celebrating World Ayurveda Day. And thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Excellent, Dr. Shekhar. Excellent as always. You are inspiring, no doubt. But I would like to request again, as I have requested earlier also, the person, the dignitary like you only can arrange the recognition for our Ayurveda in USA. When our respected Prime Minister Sri Modi ji and Donald Trump and Joe Biden all are friends, then why Ayurveda cannot be recognized in USA? It is your moral responsibility to bless us with the recognition of Ayurveda in your country. And please invite the experts from KNE and please send your students for higher studies. So I hope Suhas and Shekhar both as will be definitely creating a new history in the MOU to take Ayurvedic students there. And if you can arrange membership of APNA, I would like to request, please arrange research for our students. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Pawanji. Thank you. Namaskar.
Amidst us, we have the presence of Dr. Mahadevan Sitaraman in person. A Duke Integrative Healthcare leader and founder of Ayurveda Living. As an Ayurveda diet and nutrition consultant and yoga teacher, he provides up-to-date Ayurveda and yoga-related health and wellness information, researches, news, and reviews. From the Hindu University of America, Texas, I invite you, sir. Over to you, sir.
Welcome. Welcome, sir. Welcome.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. And
Vinayak sir,
the
lights.
slides. I don't know what I'm going to say after Dr. Shekhar Annambotla. He's a good friend of mine. And
Thank you.
hi, Dr. Shekhar.
Thank you. Thank you. Namaskar.
Sir, how are you?
I'm so happy to see you there in the institution.
Happy to be here in KLE. Okay. Can you hear me? Okay. Okay. So, you want to follow my side, Mr. Doctor? Sure. Okay. Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay, namaste everyone, and happy to be here today. I'm going to give a different perspective on the current state and recognition of Ayurveda in the United States, and also about how Ayurveda is viewed from the perspective of institutions and other organizations in the United States. So I'm actually associated with the Hindu University of America. I'm a Duke Integrative Healthcare leader, and also I'm associated with the Maharishi International University Institute for Natural Medicine and Prevention. So if you look at chronic diseases today in America, 6 out of 10 adults have at least one chronic disease, and 4 out of the 10 have at least two. And these are the leading cause of death and disability today. And the total annual spend is about $3.8 trillion in managing these non-communicable diseases. And if you look at chronic diseases today, and what is the state of management or treatment of chronic diseases? So, see, chronic diseases definitely are not adequately prevented or treated. And there are very high rates of adverse side effects from medicines people are taking for these conditions. And the costs for these medicines are very high. And also, there is increase in the medicine dose. Every time somebody goes to see a doctor, the dose is actually increased. And most of these aging population, they're on multiple medications, and even the physicians are not trained adequately about other healthcare modalities. So based on that, if you see today, a patient is actually looking at alternative systems of medicine. So the healthcare trend is that people are having pluralistic choices. They're exploring other knowledge systems. They're looking at various mind-body medicine, energy medicine, other natural products, and so on. So this is the current state of chronic conditions and management of that in the United States. Now, if you actually look at the history of wellness, I'm talking about wellness here today because it's better, as we have talked about it all day, to prevent these chronic conditions than to treat them. And in this, if you see, Ayurveda and yoga are about 5,000 years old. Then comes traditional Chinese medicine. Then we had the ancient Greek medicine, 500 BC. Then came homeopathy, hydropathy, chiropractic. I'm also showing organic farming, which is about 70 years old because food is medicine. And lastly, the concept of wellness started about 50 years or so back. So in terms of history of wellness, Ayurveda and yoga can actually play a big role in managing and addressing these chronic diseases. Now, here is a Google trend for various modalities over the last 10 years. And in this time, the green line is actually Ayurveda. Clearly, the popularity of Ayurveda is increasing and definitely doing better than acupuncture. Of course, meditation is actually in a totally different league, as you can see. And the estimated market for Ayurveda today is about $20 billion compared to 100 billion for yoga, 75 billion for acupuncture, and a total of 125 billion for traditional Chinese medicine. So this is where Ayurveda stands with respect to some of the other integrative healthcare modalities. So what about the popularity? As the popularity of Ayurveda is growing, this is Oprah Winfrey and Deepak Chopra. He has talked about Ayurveda many times on her shows. And today, this is an image from an operating theater, and you can see that most of the surfaces are coated with copper. And all this knowledge and information is actually coming from Ayurveda. This is an American football player who actually talked about undergoing 1 week of Panchakarma therapy after the season was over last year. And he made a lot of headlines in the United States. Of course, this is golden turmeric latte and cardamom latte. All of this, the knowledge is coming from Ayurveda. Then this is the magazine cover. Ashwagandha is as popular as ginseng or other herbs in the US today. Aveda is another cosmetic company that was actually sold to Estee Lauder for $200 million. This is now King Charles. He visited India for Ayurvedic treatment. Now you have Colgate talking about advanced Ayurvedic solution in their toothpaste. And of course, in the US, probiotics, prebiotics are becoming very popular. This knowledge is coming from Ayurveda. And you have a lot of supermodels today talking about Ayurveda, Ayurveda therapies, and Ayurveda products. So culturally, this is where Ayurveda is today in the United States. Now, this is Helene Langevin, who is the director of the National Center for Complementary and Integrative Health. So today, according to NCCIH, the disease paradigm is going from health to disease with some dysfunction and then pre-disease. And they're also talking about, on the right side of the spectrum, mainly symptom management, in the middle, disease prevention, on the left, health restoration. So this is very similar to what Ayurveda talks about. So the concept of health and wellness today, as seen by the National Institute of Complementary and Integrative Health, is very similar to what we have in Ayurveda. Again, in terms of going from a state of health to disease, there are different modalities that people talk about in the US. One is whole medical system, second is mind-body therapies, then biologics, then you have manipulative or body-based medicines, and lastly, the energy therapy. So Ayurveda, traditional Chinese medicine, homeopathy, naturopathy are all whole medical systems. And mind-body therapies are meditation, prayer, mental healing. Then biologics are herbs, foods, vitamins, and so on. Then manipulative or body-based medicine is chiropractic, osteopathic, massage, and so on. And lastly, the energy therapies are biofield and qigong and reiki and so on. So if you see, Ayurveda covers most of the spectrum of complementary and integrative health that is there in the United States today. Now, in terms of treatment of various conditions or management, typically we talk about only drugs and surgery, drugs on one end of the spectrum and surgery on the other end. But today, there is a broader understanding of management of various conditions. You have natural products, you have nutritional focus, and you have psychological mind-body practices, physical massage and heat cold therapies. So if you see today, the concept of management of disease has broadened to beyond just drugs or surgeries, but including various natural products and supplements and botanicals and various mind-body practices. So it's in line with Ahar, Vihar, and Aushadhi that we've always been talking about in Ayurveda. Now, this is the statistic Okay. So this is a summary of current practice of Ayurveda in the US. As I was saying, there are about 2,000 Ayurveda practitioners at different levels. And there are about 100 Ayurveda educational institutions, 200 Panchakarma clinics or centers, and little over 20 Ayurveda associations in the United States. The National Ayurvedic Medical Association, NAMA, then APNA, and American Association of Ayurvedic Professionals are the three primary associations in the United States. My previous speaker, our friend Dr. Shekhar, runs APNA, and I think we're going to have Dr. Somesh Kaushik from AAP, who's going to be talking next. Global Council for Ayurveda Research is the Ayurveda research organization. And there are several state organizations in California, Texas, Colorado, Florida, and so on. California being the largest and Texas being the second largest. There are a lot of Ayurveda practitioners in these states. So unfortunately, in the United States, there is no legal recognition for Ayurveda today. It's only, Ayurveda is legally recognized only in 16 countries. And there is a lot of work that needs to be done for licensing Ayurveda in the United States, and the regulations need to evolve. And one of the problems is that the NCCIS notes that the Ayurvedic preparations contain lead, mercury, or arsenic. So what happened in 2002 and 2004 and 2008, Dr. Robert Schaefer, he actually went to an Indian store, bought some Ayurveda medicines, and he tested them and showed that they had very high levels of lead and arsenic. He repeated the same study from an online store about 4 years back, and he found similar results. So this really set Ayurveda back in the United States about 20 years back. So today, Ayurveda education is still seen as part of a spectrum of alternative approaches. There are a lot of programs in Ayurveda education today. The one called Ayurvedic Health Counselor is about 600 hours. Ayurveda practitioner is about 1,200 hours, and an Ayurveda doctor is about 4,000 hours. But none of these are actually legally recognized today. And a lot of other institutions also offer Ayurveda as part of a broader holistic health program. And of course, Maharishi International University is just starting a fellowship in integrative medicine and Ayurveda for medical professionals, which is actually a big deal today. So that's all I wanted to say in terms of current state of Ayurveda.
Excellent, doctor. Excellent. Very nicely explained. And really, I am expecting that one day recognition will be there, and you will be the pioneer to initiate that movement. You, Shekhar, Somen Kaushik, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
It gives me immense joy to introduce an aspiring physician who has made her way and dedicated herself in learning of Ayurveda, Ms. Tina Anderson. She is an Ayurvedic lifestyle consultant and a core admirer of Ayurveda at Sweden.
I'm more.
We are delighted to hear from you, Ms. Anderson. Over to you, ma'am.
Welcome, Stephen on the desk. Welcome.
Thank you, and namaskar. I'm so happy to be here, and thank you, everyone who is making this possible. Namaskar. And Dr. Shri Kumar Shetty, thank you so much for inviting us. Dr. Pavan Kumar Sharma and Dr. Svada Upin, and all students who are here listening to us today. Thank you so much. And thank you, India, for bringing Ayurveda to the world. Can I share my screen?
Sure, platform is yours.
So, okay. So I will talk about the scope of Ayurveda in Sweden. and the opportunities and challenges, as we all have been heard about. But first of all, I will show you something that is a vision statement for Ayurveda in Sweden. So this vision came to happen 1 year ago, as we are connecting all Ayurvedic practitioners in Sweden. I will tell you soon about how many we are. And our vision statement is to integrate Ayurveda in the Swedish healthcare system, to combine research with life skill, and to achieve a society with sustainable, healthy, and happy people. And I think that Ayurveda will be so helpful to do this. So a little bit about the country from where I come from. And we'll see if I can make this. Okay. So to see how Ayurveda could be helpful for our people, we need to know a little bit about the country. And Sweden is approximately a country that is 1,600 kilometers long, and it's about 250,000 square kilometers. So India is 7 times bigger than Sweden. Our population is about 10 million people, and our capital is Stockholm in Sweden. So a little bit more about what Sweden is known for. Perhaps you have seen the fastest car in the world named Koenigsegg, and it's located, the fabric of Koenigsegg is located just 5 kilometers from where I live. Perhaps you have heard about ABBA, who sing this wonderful music. But if we would address something that could make an impact of the world, and has done a very impact of the world and the Ayurvedic system for Dravyaguna, that would be Carl von Linnaeus. Carl von Linnaeus, he was the one who classified all the herbs. And I think it's time to classify the herbs also in the Swedish way, but according to the Dravyaguna knowledge. So that could be a mission for the future, perhaps. Sweden is also known for the Nobel Prize. So we are waiting for the Nobel Prize for the Ayurvedic medicine here. Ayurveda in Sweden, we are a few practitioners here in Sweden, and it's only a diploma program here to become a health counselor. And we are about over 7,000 people who has this education. It's only about 250 hours. So that's just basic knowledge of Ayurveda. But I will tell you why this is so important a little bit later. There are approximately 4 schools, started with just a few in the 1990s. And we are around 250 practitioners who really work on the lifestyle changes, because we find this as the most important thing and the way to implement Ayurveda. We need some more knowledge to work on the medical aspect of Ayurveda. So what we do here is we have clients, and we usually, all the practitioners have different level of education. So some of us are educated in Panchakarma, in Marma treatment, Svedana and Basti therapy, Nasaya and Shidduhara, Abhyanga, and a little bit of Dravyaguna, of course. So we can also use the herbs, and we are also a few Ayurvedic doctors coming from India and living in Sweden, but also I think there are 2 Swedish doctors in both allopathic medicine and Ayurvedic medicine. But the practice has some challenges here. The sister knowledge of Ayurveda, yoga, has been used for the people the last 20 years, and the last 10 years it's increasing a lot. So we are happy to tell that over 300 hospitals in Sweden and primary care centers has made yoga available to the patients, and that's making a huge impact on the health. When it comes to Sweden, I told you about the 1,600 kilometers long country, and here, as you can see, it's a picture of the Northern Lights. So the Northern Lights happens in the wintertime, and in the wintertime it's dark 24 hours every day. So now I'm asking you students, how can you use the daily routines in a country where it's dark the whole day and the whole night? And the opposite, during the summertime, it's light 24 hours every day. Can you imagine how good a strawberry will taste having this fantastic sunlight all the day? But what we do in Sweden is actually that we can tell that Ayurveda is already here. So what we use as a daily routine, since we have done in ages, is what we call silver tea, and that is hot water. And this is actually one of the first thing that we tell our clients to do. Is to do this daily practice every day of drinking hot water in the morning. It makes such a difference for people, and it's also a routine that you can easily do, and it has such an impact on our health you can't imagine. Maybe it's because of the water is so healthy here. So what we also have, as I experienced, as I read through the Bhagavad Gita, I found suddenly that there's a connection between the Bhagavad Gita and the old Viking sagas. One of the things is that you always should offer your guest a glass of water when he comes to your place, and that's really beautiful. One of the first words I learned in Sanskrit was samband, and that's actually the same word as in Swedish, and that means connection in Sweden. So it is already a connection between the Ayurvedic knowledge and the knowledge of the North. We do also, we have some regulations and laws, but if we talk about Ayurveda, and we say alternative medicine here in Sweden, I'm not really fond of that word, because alternative medicine, I think it's more the folk medicine, but in the 70s, we started to use the alternative medicine word, and the traditional medicine used in Sweden is the folk medicine, and it goes back to the shamanic people here who also believed in the Pancha Mahabhutas, but they were just 4 here. So we missed the space thing. But what we can see is that the regulations are to practice Ayurveda. There are actually no regulations at all, but we have to, as alternative medicine practitioners, we have to accept that we are not allowed to treat cancer, diabetes, epilepsy, pregnant women, and children under 8 years old. So this is just for now. There is a new law coming up soon, and we have no idea what that will be about, because there's been an investigation going on for a few years that talks about to make more restrictions according to the what we call alternative medicine, but I mean like the traditional Ayurvedic medicine as well. So we will see about that. It could also be a great opportunity for us to I think we could be very good in putting up quality standards in Ayurveda, and that's so important work that needs to be done. So we talk about also what would be the strength and the opportunities about Ayurveda. So I have a background as an engineer, and that's my profession, but I do also work as an Ayurvedic practitioner. So the strength of the So as an engineer, I love these diagrams, and I really like to do this SWOT analysis to see how we can use and put these threats and weaknesses to opportunities. So if we start with the threats, I think that's a good way of doing it, because we have big pharma, as you know of, that and we have also restrictions in the laws. And sometimes I feel that a few years ago there was a kind of really a challenge for the Ayurvedic medicine, because there were findings of high levels of heavy metals in Ayurvedic medicine, and this is something that happened over 10 years ago, I think, and still people remember this. So I will really I think it's so important to have the quality standards of the Ayurvedic medicine. So we have the right levels of chemicals and the right levels of heavy metal. Otherwise, this will be a really challenge for us to talk about Ayurveda, because this is something that sticks to people's memories for a long time. There's another challenge, I will say, and that is in our society, we do believe in science. And many hundreds of years ago, we also separated the body from the mind and the soul. And that was done because of science. And it is a challenge, and it is an opportunity, because ever since then, we believe the science is the only thing that can prove if something works or not. And when it comes to the Ayurvedic medicine, I think the greatest impact we can do on people is to taking the power back to the persons. Today, we believe that the doctors are the ones responsible for our health. And that's a big problem, because we can also see that there are lots, if we go to the weaknesses, and if we go to see how the healthcare system works in Sweden right now. So the healthcare system is undergoing a deep crisis. People are feeling that they're not getting help. And when using medicine, they only can see the by effect of the medicine, and people are not getting healthy by going to the hospital. They're actually getting more ill. More and more people are asking for lifestyle advices, and I think that's the best impact that Ayurveda can do. And that is where we can use the daily routine, the seasonal routine, and also we talk about strength, then the existential health. I was looking into the Karolinska University and Hospital, and I'm happy to tell you all that last week or 2 weeks ago, there was a lecture from the bishop in Stockholm, having a lecture about existential health. And I think that is the first time we talk about this subject in Sweden. Health is something that has been addressed by a doctor and not from the church. So we need to connect to the body, mind, and soul concept again. And that is where Ayurveda and yoga can help. I really think that yoga is is paving the road for the Ayurvedic medicine to be established in Sweden on a more professional level, because there are so much research going on in yoga these days, and the research shows so fantastic results. So if we also can do the same thing with Ayurveda, that would be so helpful. One of the greatest things is that Ayurveda will spread automatically because of the nice stories from other patients who are having who get help from Ayurveda. So for us who practice Ayurveda, it's also so important to walk the talk, to talk the walk. because we need to set good examples how if people see that we are healthy and we are happy, then they will be so inspired and they will ask, so what is your secret? And the secret is Ayurveda. And that will make a huge impact on people, and they will inspire people to try. So today there are no regulations actually, except from that we're not allowed to treat what I told you earlier. But if we see what our problems really is in the society today, it's all about stress. So people are really stressed out in our society. We work in a family, both both the parents need to work at least full-time job to be able to have the family and to afford to pay for everything. So that's kind of a challenge. We are so stressed out, and we are not really taking care of our children in a good way. They are also stressed out. Obesity is a challenge in our society. Cardiovascular diseases and cancer and diabetes are the most common diseases in Sweden. And as you see, this is all related to lifestyle. So back again to what we have learned in Ayurveda is that preventive medicine and health promotion is the best way. And we see that 80% of our diseases are related to lifestyle, and yet there are the doctors in Sweden, the allopathic medicine doctors, they are not allowed to make to describe or to give the patient lifestyle changes. So that's really a problem, but this is also opportunity for Ayurveda to grow. We need to do research because science is something that we rely on here, and we need to make pilot studies. So it would be great to identify in what fields Ayurveda could be most helpful. Perhaps it could be in infertility or stress management, or something that has to do with lifestyle related problems. We have now formed an association in Ayurveda for the Ayurvedic practitioners in Sweden, and that's really something that we are very proud of. Right. Ayurveda has been in the Indian embassy, as you can see here below on the picture. We are gathered last February. It was the first time in Sweden that we could gather all Ayurvedic practitioners for an event, and we were lucky to have over 250 people coming to our webinar, and that was arranged together with the Indian embassy. So after that, we realized that we need to be connected with all the Ayurvedic practitioners in Sweden. So me and Ulla, as you can see here, and also my mentor, Eva Schinkler, we have formed a association, Ayurveda Sweden. And we are soon having our first, the first Ayurvedic practitioners joining us. And we are going to set up a quality standards for the education, and we will work on spreading Ayurveda on a grassroots level because we find it so important. We don't have the highest education in Ayurveda, but in the same time, what we need is lifestyle related changes. And that is, when we do this, it's more related to our behavior and behavioral medicine, and also to the coaching aspects to follow up and to to take our client in the hand and help them to make the efforts needed to change the lifestyle. So that's what one of the greatest challenges and greatest opportunities for us. About the chair of Ayush, it's empty, as you can see. So we are waiting for someone to come to Sweden and to help us in implementing Ayurveda on a professional level. That is so needed. And as you know, where emptiness is, there's lots of prana. So the whole chair is filled with prana for the next Ayush representative in our country. So if we go to and see what the future of Ayurveda would be in Sweden, I think that the health promotion is the greatest, will make the greatest impact. We talk about existential medicine, the body, mind, and soul concept, because this is something that people really have an urge to learn more about. I feel all the time when I go out and talk about Ayurveda, people are so happy that we can actually speak about the connection between the body, mind, and soul. We are so focused on the body, and it's almost forbidden to talk about the soul. It might be strange for you to hear, but I think this is why people are stressed, and really this is the reason for people being sick. We have lost a connection to the spirit, and this is the way forward to reconnect us again. I think we should identify where Ayurveda could be helpful. Perhaps it could be in sports medicine, it could be in infertility programs, or it could be in treating stress somehow. And to implement Ayurveda in the healthcare system, we really need to have a professional education at the university level, and we need to have a license, and we need to set up regulations to really know that the quality standard will be met. And I am happy to hear that WHO, World Health Organization, has put up these quality standards for practicing Ayurveda, and that is amazing. When I was studying Ayurveda, I was looking so much to have I was searching for a university that would allow a quality standard, and what I found was this program that was set up for the World Health Organization, and I think it's so important to meet this standards in the future. So for me, yes, Ayurveda is the language between human, nature, and universe, and I found it such a beautiful language, and I think everyone that I've talked to about Ayurveda, they feel that they already know it because it is already here. We just don't have the words to express Ayurveda. But this is what we are learning right now. So I'm so grateful for India to keeping this knowledge in all these years, and for giving it to the world, and to spread Ayurveda all over the world, and being so fantastic in inviting us to webinars like this and connecting people, because there is already a samband.
Thank you.
So,
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you very much.
Excellent presentation. Very nice information. I hope in your Sweden, our students will also participate in various activities. You will also invite along with the visa arrangements. Thank you. Thank you very much. And we will be meeting in Goa. I hope you are coming to Goa World Ayurveda Congress.
Yes, I will be there. I will be there. I was invited as a speaker, actually.
Yes,
So we will see. We will meet there, I hope.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And your information has been passed on to the Embassy of Sweden also. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's time we hear from Dr. Saikat Kumar Basu, traditionally trained in botany and specializing in microbiology. He has worked actively in various areas of plant sciences and environmental conservation. Dr. Basu is associated with International College of Nutrition, Lethbridge, Alberta, Canada. Let us now hear about the scope of Ayurveda in Canada. Over to you, sir.
Welcome, Dr. Sakat. Welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Upin, and thank you, Dr. Sharma, for inviting me to this platform. I have been associated with you for quite some time. And although not a traditional Ayurvedic practitioner, either by education or by experience, I'm an Ayurvedic, an enthusiast, and has been associated with the movement of making identifying one day by the international community as the International Day of Ayurveda. Has been working through that platform, and this is fortunately I got in touch with Dr. Sharma and his association. And what I'm going to highlight is in very simple terms, the challenges and the opportunities of Ayurveda in parts of North America, like in Canada, and why is this so important and where we are lagging and what we need to do. And this is more as a perspective, I would say more a geopolitical thing, a more of a diplomatic thing, a more of an economic opportunity, rather just related to the treatments and other stuff. But we need to hear out on these aspects that we have been missing out for a long time. Now, first of all, I would like to congratulate and thank the current Indian government under the capable leadership of Honorable Prime Minister Modi for doing a fabulous job of bringing up an Ayush ministry and making Ayurveda a global event. All the traditional practices of India, which has been, neglected by successive governments for a long, long time, has been for the first time being brought on an international platform. And as you could see, this has been very well received, not only in the Western world, but across the continents, across all the continents, I would say with the exception of Antarctica, because we do not have people down there. But other than that, it has been very well received. Now, what we have lacked is Ayurveda to me is a gift of India to the entire world. It is knowledge, it is the practice that helps you to survive and thrive on this planet with the use of holistic methods, rather than exclusively depending on resources which has strong side effects down the line, like our traditional and non-traditional modern medication. It has huge implications. But unfortunately, for a very, very long time, Ayurveda was neglected internationally. I would not say by the international community. I would say that it was neglected, unfortunately, by the successive governments of India post-independence, where we had too much focus on pro-modernization and a lack of focus on globalization of the gifts that India has to the rest of the world. The other thing that I think was a big challenge is the attitude of the staff members of various Indian institutes, particularly the consulates and the high commission that worked across the world. And what I had felt was that anyone who works in an Indian high commission, or I'm not talking about the top ambassador or the chief officers, but the attitude has been that once you have been sent by the government of India to a country like Canada or UK or USA, the staff members is actually doing a huge favor to the people of India. Well, what they need to realize is their salary comes from the tax paid by the people of India. And it is their responsibility to serve the people of India and to the people who are in the foreign countries. I think this has drastically changed over the last 10 years. People who are not functioning properly, where there are complaints being given, the government of India has been taking strong actions, and the activities and the performance of Indian commissions and the high commissions and embassies has improved across the world. I mean, I am so grateful for Prime Minister Modi's initiative on this, that you need to serve the country. You are not here as a superstar or a celebrity to enjoy the time. Why am I saying this? Is because this Ayurveda has to be promoted, or has not been promoted, by our embassies and by our consulates for a long time. They do a lot of other fairs, a lot of cultural programs, but this was neglected, as this was not a very big part of the government agenda during the past. But with the recent changes, and particularly the pandemic, which was a shock to the entire world, but it brought Ayurveda to the entire global platform, suggesting that when we saw that all medications are failing, all significant medications are failing, all drugs are failing to treat the disease, the only hope that people had and they'd hang on to was Ayurveda at that particular time. And I think it gave a huge, massive platform to Ayurvedic practitioners, to Ayurvedic medication users, to Ayurvedic products to the entire world, not just India. Now the point is, now we need to hang on to it so that there is a boost in pushing it to the Western countries. This is not just a case of Canada, United States, Mexico, or European Union. What is important to understand is the fact that people in the West are not accustomed with the cultural practices or adoption of Ayurveda in their life for a long time. It's a different society, it's a different culture. So it's the responsibility of the government of India through its many commissions, through its many institutes that operate in the foreign countries to help people explore Ayurveda in a more comprehensive manner. Still now there is not much promotive exposure of educational opportunities related to Ayurveda right now in Canada, but it has to develop over time. And I see that if we continue emphasizing the importance of Ayurveda, people in Canada get to know how important Ayurveda is. And this cannot happen without the active participation of the government of India through its foreign commissions to make people understand the value of Ayurveda. Hundreds and thousands of people who are not from the traditional Ayurveda-based country of South Asia has many questions about Ayurveda. Many have no idea that Ayurveda has gone through a revolutionary change in the process of medication. Many in the Western countries think that these traditional medication depends on collecting plant samples or buying those plants, then crushing them, making those powders, and then taking them, and there may not be any dosage control, and there could be significant impact down the line because there is no dosage. But how many people here in West does know, or even to that matter of fact in India, know that Ayurvedic medication now can be taken as syrups, as capsules, as tablets, and it is not like you have to prepare and spend a huge amount of time, which is kind of a setback, a mental attitude among the people in the wider acceptance of Ayurveda. It's great. It has less side effects. It's plant-based. It's wonderful, but I have no time to make those medications in the morning that will take half an hour to 1 hour in this busy community. These perceptions needs to change. And who can change this? I cannot change this. You cannot change this. The government of India has to come forward. And as a formal speaker have suggested, that we need to create platforms like this, where experts would share these fears, these anxieties, these challenges, that these are all hearsay. These are not true. It is as convenient and as useful, as simple and as easy as is your convenient allopathic medication that you need to take. This focus has not been a priority for a long time. Why this is important, I would like to highlight this now, for countries like Canada or even other Western countries, is this is India's soft power. I guess all of us know that Bollywood movies are not only extremely popular in India, they are also popular across the borders, across the continents, and it has been taking a deeper roots in Western culture. 20 years back, like if you walk through downtown Toronto or in Vancouver or in Quebec and other big cities of Canada, you would have never come across any workshop that talks about Indian dancing. And if they talked about Indian dancing, it was about the classical Indian dancing. But if you now walk through, in many of these big towns and cities, you would see that they have Bollywood dancing workshops, and it is becoming increasingly popular among the newer generations in Canada and United States, and that Bollywood movies has made that significant impact. And through these movies, the government has been using it as a soft power to build a connection to the people of the overseas. So it's a people-to-people contact. Just like the reason for giving an example of the movies is that this is a soft power that has helped India penetrate deep into the mind of the West, where they also enjoy this movie and they want to interact. So if you have fairs, if you have series of Indian movies and stuff, there is a lot of participation from the Western countries, and they're very interested in knowing about Indian culture. They call it a bright, colorful culture, the nice song, the bright, colorful clothing, jewelries. Same is for Ayurveda. It's a popular idea that's catching up, and the government has to push through right at this moment to bring it to the notice of the people through newspapers, through magazines, through different programs that the Indian High Commissions and other associations of the Indian Institute needs to perform, not only across Canada, but across Western countries where there is interest, but there is also misleading false information about Ayurveda that needs to be clarified. by experts, by those who practice Ayurveda, and also use as a soft power for connecting or the connection between the two people. One of the challenges of Ayurvedic medication not being so easily available here is that there is a worry about the formulations. Like these are just mixed roughly without a proper proportion. This is what the thought about is. Health Canada is an extremely stringent organization. Agriculture and Agri-Food Canada is another stringent organization that goes through strictly through any kind of medicinal or supplementary products that come out. And the manufacturers in India that who are selling those products need to be very careful. This is not very difficult nowadays to do chemical assessment or percentage of various chemicals constituents of the materials that you are sending needs to be done precisely, printed on your jacket or on the bottles and stuff, and the manufacturing dates and the expiry dates and stuff, the quality needs to be maintained and monitored very carefully. In Western countries, there are sophisticated instrumentation available, and I think the same is available in India too. And it is not super expensive, that the manufacturing companies do not spend enough time in the quality control aspect. Now, if one particular batch of this kind of Ayurvedic product is found faulty or not up to the mark or do not have those chemical constituents that they are claiming in their advertisement, as they found out in chemical analysis here, you not only damage your business, you damage the brand India. So I request through this platform to the government of India to take care in brandishing people who are utilizing these doorways of selling products in the Western countries, which are not up to the mark and to the qualities. So this will also help in the branding and promotion of Ayurveda. So with this, I am with this very practical, ground realities that I got to share with your platform. I sincerely thank you once again. And if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer. Thank you.
Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Excellent, Dr. Shakat, excellent. You are really inspiring. When you close your eyes, like my Lord Shiva, you start initiating. Excellent.
Thank you, sir. You have been always an inspirational force in the organization. And I think as an Indian who lives in Canada, there is huge opportunity of Ayurveda, but we also need to push the government to take necessary action so that it becomes popular overseas through the legal channels.
Yes.
So I congratulate you one more time for taking this international platform and trying to make it popularized, sharing doubts. Thank you so much. And to Dr. Swasthayu, thank you so much for your hard work. You have done an excellent job.
Very nice to see you. Thank you.
We have a speaker who has
Thank you.
We have a speaker who has unusually diverse academical background and range of research interests, a genome biologist with an extensive researches in plant genetics. Let us hear from the President, Ayush Valley Foundation and General Secretary, European Ayurveda Association, Cambridge, United Kingdom. Due to unavoidable circumstances, Sir was unable to join, but he has shared his quick message through a short video.
Good evening. Greetings from Graz in Austria. My apologies for this brief recording. I will try and connect on the internet as I progress through my journeys. And I'm here in Graz attending meetings at the medical university, one of the few medical universities in Austria. And we'll be discussing here projects and studies for the future at this interface between modern medicine, modern biology, and ancient systems in medicine. In the Institute of Physiology here at Medical University, we have researchers looking at many of these aspects of opportunities of engaging with modern biology and ancient biology. Now, a very brief message from you, from myself. And I start off with this one image that is at the heart of some of our thinking. And this image relates to initiative that is ongoing and that was developed some years back here between the University of Graz and several other collaborators, including the European Ayurveda Association. So you can see the whole idea was to think about how we could bring together different systems of medicine. And it comes under this first Indo-European workshop on next generation physiology for healthy lifestyle. The theme was physiology for good health and prevention of non-communicable diseases. This was held on the 31st of January and 1st of February 2019, the Department of Physiology of Indian Institute of Medical Sciences in New Delhi. The collaborators there, the European Ayurveda Association, Medical University of Graz, where I am now, and the French National Institute of Health and Medical Research, and the team that is from Dijon in France. Now, why all this excitement? What is our interest in all this? The time has arrived for us to see and convince more and more people at many, many levels on the basis for Ayurveda biology and the basis for Ayush biology, which goes beyond what Ayurveda talks about. This was a theme I touched on briefly at the colleges in Punjab some time back. As you well know, India and the United Kingdom have ongoing discussions recently at the India-UK Healthcare Conference in 2020. And there is a discussion document there, which is very valuable. This event was held at the Royal College of Physicians, a very old institution in the UK, founded in 1518 by Henry VIII. And one of the wishes shown here is the ability to move beyond P5, P4 medicine, precision medicine and postmodern medicine and beyond. And it seems like we are coming full circle. Shown on the left-hand side, the crest of the Royal College of Physicians with the you can see somebody reading a pulse there. Two images that are two aspects of that image which everybody in Ayurveda appreciates. One's Adivariksha, and the second one is a pomegranate, a golden pomegranate. What made the person who devised this crest in 1546, Christopher Barker, to identify these two images, I haven't quite found out, but I will as time passes. Now, the lessons for India and for the rest of the world is what is shown here as one example. Ayushman in India, commitment to bring the strength of India's ancient sciences to prevention also of diseases for a very large nation like India. The basis for all of this shown here, the 15 indicators of health as suggested by Nagarjuna, the Panchadasha Prakara. You see here on the left-hand side is Nagarjuna's image and his concept of Shunyata, and shown on the far right hand are the Panchadasha Prakara in Sanskrit. And written in the middle are many aspects that even today are valid for all of mankind: desire for food at the right time, elimination of waste from the body, proper functioning of the organs, eyes, nose, etc. A tranquil mind, which is what we get out of meditation and aspects that yoga offers us. Proper natural strength, bodily texture, skin texture, these are all proper sound sleep at the proper time, early waking, natural waking, stress-free waking up. These are all aspects of physiology. These are all areas that are being studied in contemporary physiology. Away from contemporary physiology, Indian systems also talk about these subtle energies, the subtle shrotas. And these are the subtle filaments that we think keep our body together. The Indian system understood this, and there is a good understanding how we interpret this in the context of contemporary biology, contemporary physiology. It is unclear. Now, I will finish off here with some of the thinking that is going on about the complementary systems of medicine. And the reason why there is a feeling that our systems need to improve. Shown here, an image that comes from the World Health Organization's web pages. This is in response to the WHO's initiation of the new Global Center for Traditional Medicine in India. And you can see up here the number of member states who are using traditional systems of medicine. 113 member states use acupuncture, 110 herbal medicine, many use the traditional medicine, homeopathy, traditional Chinese medicine, and so on and so on. And somehow there is a feeling that this is Ayurvedic medicine, and there is also a kind of mistrust of this so-called practice-based evidence approach. And some people go as far as calling it frontline science. We need to find ways to come over, to get across this challenge, and hopefully young people like yourselves working in this space together with the WHO Center for the Global Center for Traditional Medicine in India will help provide a better vision for the future. I leave you with this message. I hope in the next 24 hours, I'll be able to connect with you people directly online, perhaps tomorrow, internet connections permitting. But there we are. I wish you a wonderful Congress, and I look forward to learning more about your wishes. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your kind contribution in spite of other engagements. It's now time we hear from the one who has been awarded for conducting maximum international webinars and himself is a proud international figure. I request Dr. Pavan Kumar Sharma ji, Professor and Head of Department, Rasashastra and Bhashya Kalpana, Mansarovar Global University, Bhopal, and the concept convener of this global consortium for concluding the session with his experience and words of wisdom.
Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. This global consortium, conceptualized by actually Suhas, Dr. Suhas. Really, I am grateful to Dr. Suhas for and his team, Ashok, everybody of KLE. First, I would like to have clap for you. Arey baja जोर से यार. मैं आप लोगों के साधक पित्त को, I am grateful to your साधक पित्त that has been controlled you to stay here. I don't know whether this mass is for cultural program or for there. I'm really thankful to them. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much, experts. I hope July starts. So thank you very much to all experts joined here. This journey, I am inviting you all. This is the sample of a journey. We are moving ahead with our 498 webinars in 2.5 years during this corona pandemic. So it is a great achievement. Your Dr. Suhas is our greatest commander of the Ayush Samruddhi. He initiated, he supported, he mentored, he associated with Ayush Samruddhi like anything. I am really grateful to Dr. Suhas. Thank you, Dr. Suhas. Thank you, Institute, for organizing this. And I am confident. So now the time is for your cultural sentiments. I would like to request Dr. Suhas that the conclusion will be tomorrow. I don't want to be wall between you and cultural sentiments. Conclusion will be tomorrow because this is the part one. And I would like to request all the speakers, all the experts join here. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much again meeting you tomorrow, again meeting you tomorrow in the morning, again meeting you in the night also. Tomorrow from 9 a.m. I would like to have you all students and experts consideration. Please enter in the hall before 8:45 because these are international experts. Today also they were waiting for 20 minutes and it is our moral responsibility and challenge that will not wait for any second tomorrow. So I am appealing you all that please join tomorrow at 8:45 a.m. sharp in the hall. Please, it is my humble request. And now I would like to have opinion of Dr. Suhas. Please today. Please. आज मजा नहीं आएगा. मजा आएगा ही नहीं. मेरा सुहास नहीं आएगा तो मजा कैसे आएगा? नाम ही है उसका.
A very good evening to all of you. On behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to thank all the speakers for joining us from different countries in spite of their different time zones. And special appreciation for Dr. Pavanji and Dr. Swardha and all my dear colleagues for conceptualizing this and making this a new event. As you all know now, we are really looking forward for the implementation of Heal in India and Heal by India, where we need to get adopted to the global standards. And probably this is such platform where we can definitely have a first-hand information from these experts from different countries. And that was the whole purpose of conceptualizing this, and very well supported by our Guruji, Dr. Pavanji. And this is just a beginning, and we will have the part 2 tomorrow morning. As Sir requested, we all will ensure that will be in time, and the session of Global Consortium starts exactly at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Swasthayu. And again, I am inviting all to join in the night, 9 p.m. Tomorrow is International Men's Day. We are conducting webinar on men care by Ayush every day, like every day. And the man is cared by woman. Am I wrong? So, out of 3 speakers, tomorrow we will have 2 ladies speakers who will guide us, how the men care is, should be there, should be considered, and how men will be considered in the opinion of a woman. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir, for your wonderful words. I thank all the speakers and all the delegates for joining in for the session 1 of Global Consortium. Have a good evening.